What's up, YouTube? Mini Minchino here, and welcome back to another episode of Creative Builds. I have to apologize right off the bat. I usually start very still, but I'm moving around like crazy because this footage was pre-recorded, so I had to cut a bunch of it down because I screwed up the recording. But we're working on our house today, and I'm, I guess, showing the block palette for this, so you can go ahead and take a look at that. There's like gray concrete, brown concrete, brick slab, spruce slabs, dark oak doors, sea lanterns, quartz pillars, quartz stairs, and quartz slabs, I think, as well. And I'll be adding birch wood to the block palette in just a moment. So yeah, I apologize for this whole thing sounding rushed or whatever, but I gotta fit this all in within 17 minutes, so you know. So basically what happens, or what's going to happen, is I'm going to be working on the house, figuring out the block palette. I'm going to be testing it out pretty much on the front of the house that you see right there, and we're basically going to turn this block of cheese into a home. So that is basically what's going to happen. So what happened last, or when I recorded this, was I was doing other experimenting for the Summertime Radness video I put out yesterday, actually. The surprise Summertime Radness video, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. But yeah, I was trying to figure some stuff out, and as you can see, we just skipped a clip there. So that's going to happen very frequently. I basically crammed 2 hours worth of footage into 17 minutes. So that is a thing. You're going to see that very, very frequently. But what happened was when I was recording it, due to my experimenting, I disabled my microphone. So, yeah. I was talking and rambling to myself for like 2 hours, getting all this stuff recorded, and that did not happen. But, yeah, in my quest to figure out what's been going down, or what's going to go down for these windows here at the front, I figured I'd start with the windows, because then we can just kind of go out from there and things like that. And excuse me, I figured we'd outline it all in quartz, or outline it, put the sides, sorry, I can't speak, put the sides as quartz pillars, kind of going out like that, and then the quartz stairs on the bottom and top, which you'll see in a minute. But there's a reason I ultimately changed that out, but well, I'm getting ahead of myself. We're gonna we're gonna see. I figured I'd try to just show what I was doing without, like, you know, taking 20 years on it. So this is probably gonna be the most progress there's ever been in a Creative Builds video, but I'm kind of, honestly, I'm telling you right now, I do not like the post-commentary style personally. I know there's some YouTubers that are quite good at it, but this is honestly, it's a little bit on the awkward side for me, because I'm just trying to figure out what to say. I don't remember half the things I talked about, so all this footage is a little bit weird, if I'm honest. So yeah, we're just we're gonna try to make the best of it, I suppose. But honestly, this little window design I honestly really like, and maybe if I did it in a bigger build or something, you know, it'd look better. You're gonna see right here why I didn't go for it ultimately. In order to make it actually fit, I had to raise the like this whole thing up a good block or so, and I raised that actually too much over there. So you're gonna see me bring it back down a little bit. But in order for me to get like the quartz stairs and stuff in there, just kind of, you know. But you're gonna see why it doesn't work in a minute. Basically, it's just gonna be too big, really. So it's kind of a thing, and the roof design will get a bit of a revamp, because right now it looks like a poop. It's like, I put like, the whole house is like Swiss cheese, and the quartz is like mozzarella. It's a cheese house right now. It's a cheese house for the moment, and yeah, we're gonna make it look not like cheese. I don't even know, you guys. I don't even know what I'm saying half the time. This is gonna be like the weirdest episode I've ever recorded, and to be honest, I'm not sure how it's gonna turn out, but I don't want to waste all this footage and just show up and be like, yeah, so I did a thing and screwed up. Which I know it happens. I'm sure it happens quite a bit to people, which is kind of unfortunate. And by kind of, I mean very. Right? But, I don't know. I don't want to be doing that. But you can already see. I'm like, I don't know how, when I was recording this, I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm gonna try doing the full window, but we're gonna see. And also I was kind of examining the side of the quartz blocks against the stairs, because I'm like, oh, it's gonna look weird, but you don't really notice it anyway, so if I can find a good use for this design, I might go for it. But as it stands for the moment, we're just not. I just wanted to kind of, you know, show off what we had kind of deal. But as these clips are playing, I guess, I'm gonna go ahead and say, how are you guys doing? It's like my default question, but seriously, how you guys doing? Things have been interesting over here. There's been a lot that's been going on. I've had some doctor stuff going on. Like, I'm not like sick or anything, but just kind of general checkup and stuff, and you know, just kind of dealing with certain things and you know, stuff like that. I went to visit my aunt actually because turns out she's in the hospital as well, unfortunately, and they're not entirely sure what she has at the moment, but I think the general consensus is her muscles are a little bit on the weak side. They've been trying to get her into like to do like physiotherapy just to kind of keep her muscles from like degrading, I guess, but they're not really keeping her in the loop of what's going on. They're just sort of dragging her around like she's some sort of like circus animal or something, and it's like stressing her out. And she's like, can you guys please just tell me what the hell is going on? And they're like, well, we don't know. She's like, well, can you at least tell me what the hell you're doing? Because you're just like throwing me around and I don't appreciate it, you know? So, you know, that hasn't been helping her situation, because they're just kind of, I've noticed that, like, not that all doctors are like this, but I don't know. I've noticed that, like, in my area, like, a lot of doctors just kind of don't give a crap, and then when, like, you know, when somebody's, like, ill or whatever, they send you for all these tests and stuff. They don't really bother telling you what's going on, and you're like, why are you sending me to this? Why do I have to do this thing? How will this benefit me? Like, do you know what's happening, or don't you know what's happening? Like, why are you doing what you're doing, right? And they just don't bother saying anything, and it's very, very, like, aggravating, because you're just like, I just want to know what's going on. Like, why am I being sent to a hospital for this test? Like, am I ill? Am I, like, is it just, like, what's happening, right? And I've noticed that, like, they just kind of expect you to know, and you're like, I'm not a medical expert, sir or madam. I'm coming to you because I need help. If I knew these terms and I knew what was going on, I would not be here speaking to you right now. So, you know, I don't know. It just kind of irritates me. It's like, they're human too, right? So shouldn't they know how this would make people feel? Like, I don't understand that disconnect, if I'm honest. Like, I don't know. Maybe somebody in the I guess audience has like a little more insight they'd be willing to offer. But yeah, there's that. And you just saw the front like palette of the house, and we're basically doing a gigantic jump to the actual house being complete. Or at least the outside of it anyway. And I think by this point I actually had the insides outlined too. So you'll be seeing that kind of. I did a pretty poor job of illustrating that, and I do apologize. But, yeah, I actually missed some blocks over there that I didn't see the whole time, so those will be fixed by the time the next episode starts as well. But, yeah, that's my general frustration with doctors. I don't understand the disconnect that there is there. I mean, I understand, like, they've spent years, like, doing this training and stuff, and it's all, like, clinical whatever, and terminology, and procedure, and stuff, but it's like, I don't know, it's almost like the human element just kind of goes away, and I feel like that shouldn't be a thing. And I feel like that's not an intentional thing, but it's there. And it kind of sucks. Because then, like, you get people, like, frustrated, and other people just kind of, like, I don't know. And I see some of the therapists, that, like, at the hospital, they just kind of waltzed into the room while, like, my aunt was having, you know, some conversation with some family and stuff. Like, my mom was, like, my mom took me and my boyfriend there, and, my godmother showed up. So we were all talking about whatever, just trying to keep my aunt's spirits up, you know? And then this nurse, like, I guess she was one of the physiotherapists or somebody. She just kind of waltzes in. Alright, you're going for a walk now. I was like, excuse me? Like, I get that she needs to do what she needs to do, but like, wow. Like, she just sounded really annoyed, like she didn't want to be there. And it's like, you know, I get it. If you're not a fan of your job, that's fine, but you probably spent years, like, of your life in school to get there. Like, I assume getting through college is difficult. It's a depressing ride. So I assume you had enough dedication to do that. I don't know. If you don't, even if you decided you didn't like your job after, like, can you not be rude? Like, I don't know. Maybe my standards are too high. Maybe, like, I'm fully willing to acknowledge that it could just be me just kind of getting annoyed over nothing, really. But I do honestly find it's just like, alright, you're doing this now. I don't really give a crap. Like, you're gonna kind of do whatever. And she, oh my goodness. She was just kind of rude, and I was kind of annoyed like that. She walks out of the room, like waltzes out of the room like she owns the place, and I'm just like, okay then. And my aunt just kind of looks at me and she's like, yeah, see, like, this is what they do. Like, they just kind of throw me around and don't really care, or at least it seems that way. But I'm gonna stop rambling about that, honestly, because it's a little bit of a bummer, and I don't want this to be a little bit of a bummer. I feel like this whole is it's kind of ugh. But anywho, we're just kind of looking at some of the rooms right now. We're in the upstairs bathroom. This is the landing to go to the first floor, and this is what the first floor is gonna look like. I basically have the ceiling as spruce slabs at the moment. This is where the bathroom's gonna be as well. I will properly do a proper, like, this is where the rooms are gonna go in the next episode, so that you know, I promise I will clarify that. But yeah, essentially this is the whole house done, and we're actually almost done with the video. There's just a little bit more to do that I wanted to experiment with. But yeah, like I said about the ceilings, they're spruce slabs at the moment. That will not stay, actually. I don't think it looks terrible as is, but I do think it's very dark. And at this point in the original recording, I'm just trying to figure out how to, like, divide up the rooms without dividing up into rooms, if you know what I mean. So this is just gonna be me just kind of trying to figure out the roof area, or not the roof area, like the ceiling area, specifically on this floor, because the other two floors we have whatchamacallit, we have walls. And I guess for some reason I left in the clip of me, like, just looking at the stair column thing. I don't really like the birch peeking out, but I don't want it to be like straight plankage there and stuff. I think it looks weird that way, so I feel like having it this way would probably be the best bet. If you guys have any other suggestions, I very, very much welcome it. But honestly, overall, I think the house layout has turned out pretty dang good. And yeah, I think we're off to a good starting point. So pretty much in the next episode, we're gonna get to actually decorate this, and I'll give you a proper tour of all the things that have changed, which hasn't been too many since the last episode, or since this episode and you know, the next one and stuff like that. I mean, there've been a couple, but they're, you know, they're pretty self-explanatory, so. But yeah, I resolved to kind of just put a beam across the ceiling here. Like, I've been in some houses where, like, the rooms will be separated via just like this beam going across kind of thing, and I figured it just kind of makes it look a little bit more supported without actually, you know, having like a thing going down, because we don't have a ton of room to work with, so I just wanted to kind of get that going. I don't know how realistic this is, to be honest, but I don't think it's awful. I don't know. maybe it's like future tech. This place has some technology that, you know, allows you to have long stretches without support in the middle, kind of deal. some very strong material is, I guess, what I'm trying to get at here. And I'm just trying to figure out whether or not this looks good, and I am kind of not a fan. And I'm going to be experimenting with other stuff that I end up not being a fan of. But yeah, I'm thinking though, like, this is actually about the end of the video. Let me actually double check how much longer we have actually. Can I possibly do that? Can I possibly do that? Can I just, no? Oh, okay. So we're at, where are we at? We're at about 15 minutes. So I got about 2 minutes to say stuff and end off the video kind of deal. I'm honestly thinking though this might be a decent place to end off actually. This is about where we cut off anyway. So I apologize for the post commentary shenanigans. I hope this ends up turning out good anyway, and I'm gonna go ahead and say thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, Mini out.